Koyota is arguably the most mechanical player in all of Fortnite. Not only that, this man almost has 200,000 PR, almost 1,400 earned, has won 3 FNCSs, and has also clipped Peterbot multiple times. And this is me, someone that can barely do 2 triple edits consistently. Which is why for the next 7 days I'll be trying to clone him and see in hopes if I can become better at this game. From copying down his exact sensitivity, window sensitivity, and all that jazz, to a 4-hour to 2-hour warm-up every single day to improve, to even changing my entire playstyle to his. So with all that stuff out of the way, let's start with day number 1.
They call you the Asian Peterbot.
Now the first thing that we have to do is figure out his exact settings. And luckily enough, there's a YouTube channel called Code Life that does exactly that. And after going through the entire video, I can confidently say that these are Koyota's god tier settings. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, so this is his god sense. He uses 6.1 on X and Y. He uses targeting sensitivity on 25% on both scope and targeting sense. Building sensitivity should always be at 100 just to, make your muscle memory, of course, better. And his god tier double movement settings is 24 on diagonal, 71 on strafe angle, and 331 on back straight diagonal angle. Now the best way to practice with these new sensitivities is to go to any creative map. It can be a piece control map, it can go to a free build map, heck, even a realistics map, and just practice. Remember, failure is the best teacher in the world. Not only does it help you improve on your mistakes, but it also makes your mistakes into your successes. Now at first, it felt like I had to drag my entire arm across the entire mouse pad. No, but sooner or later I became pretty confident with these new settings, and I even started to dog on this kid. And after sending this kid back to his mother's basement, woo, I won, let's go. First game on. GG's, bro. Hope you have a good day, man. And after 5 hours of absolute sweating and tiring piece control practices, I started editing like this.
You want to 1v1, Peter?
That's not Japanese.
Now that we've gotten a little bit used to his settings, now it's time to actually lock in and start with a 2-hour warm-up. Link in bio. Koyota starts his warm-up by going to free build, since that's what he's really known for. He's a free build demon. And then I put the speed to 80% to work on my consistency and my crosshair placement. So then I just started free building. I did triple edits, quad edits, tunnels, side tunnels, sprint 90s, and then I went to the piece section. Now, as you can see, I'm a complete noob at this, but later on, I'll be a complete god. Just remember, practice makes perfect, and failure is your greatest teacher. I then went to the edit section. Since Koyota is one of the fastest editors ever, I have to master this. I tried my best to hit my edit bind and my mouse button as fast as I possibly could, but as consistent and as coordinated as possible as well. I also kept my crosshair placement very tight so that I didn't make any wide edits. Funny enough, there was a section where you could work on your crosshair placement perfectly and consistently. And then I went to the aim section, and I specifically went to flicks, since Koyota is a pretty flicksy person. I then went to glider air training, which I completely sucked at. And then I finally went to mid-range sphere tracking, which I sucked at as well. And then I finally went to the comp section, where I worked on my crosshair placement while I was moving, my peaks, and my pre-fires. And that was the end for day 2 of becoming Koyota.
Chat, look at this shit. This is faster than Peter, I swear to God it is.
The third day, I immediately went to free builds and I just started building. And then I went to the piece control section, but this time I actually tried to box up the bots and try to learn new piece control methods. And then I went to the edit section. doing every single edit as fast and consistent as humanly possible. And then I went to the aim section again. Now at first I really did suck at trying to hit headshots, but then I really started to shine. And it just goes to show that I am seeing progress, and I am being happy with my results. And then I went to sphere tracking. And then I went to the comp section. And by this point I saw a huge improvement. So I knew that there was only one way to show if I was actually improving or not. On day number 4, I played Peace Control 1v1 maps over and over and over, trying to be the best box fight player I can possibly become. And if y'all think I'm playing, look at these numbers. Almost 3,000 minutes of playtime. Yeah, I really have to go outside. I even played some realistics, and yeah, the numbers really do speak for themselves, do they? I knew that if I really wanted to be the next Koyota, I had to put all of the stuff and knowledge that I learned from creative into the actual game. So I just kept playing and playing, and I knew that in day 5, the 5-hour god tier warm-up was awaiting for me.
Yo, he said he's in a 12-0 Vino all spawn.
At day number 5, I started the 5-hour warm-up, and boy did I learn a lot from this warm-up. Here are some moves that Koyota would use in his free build, and also just builds in general. This is what I like to call the Peterbot Down. Peter places 2 walls, edits the first wall, double edits down, flips the ramp, and then quad edits his way back into the right sideline where he does another quad edit. This is the Cooper classic. Cooper does a triple edit, then places a cone, edits the wall, triple edits down, flips the ramp, and edits the wall. This is the Koyota classic. Koyota does a quad edit, edits the wall, triple edits down, flips the ramp, and edits another wall. Simplistic, but artistic. These moves are in the sense to be simplistic, but very easy to use and in any common situation. If you practice these once a day, you will massively improve your mechanics and overall IQ in the game. Something that I've learned through all this Koyota training is one thing, and that's that mechanics simply don't matter that much. Well, they do matter, but it's about how smartly you execute your mechanics. There's this famous Greek philosopher called Pluto that once said, "The measure of a man is what he does with power." In this instance, your power is your mechanics and how wisely you use them. If you use them poorly, then you're gonna look like someone like Cooper, who clearly is losing to someone that has never won an FNCS, but he has. And if you use your mechanics wisely, like how Peterbot or Koyota would, then you'd have multiple FNCSs down your belt. So yeah, those are the important things I learned today. And on day 6, I'm gonna have to completely master Peace Control.
Ready? Are you gonna win? Yeah, you're gonna win? Yeah. Okay.
On day 6, I went all out on Peace Control, trying to learn Peace Control at the deepest level possible. I learned that making smart peaks while doing your Peace Control is an absolute game changer. Although sometimes I do like to get a little bit flashy with it. But at the end of the day, the sole purpose of Peace Control is to not be pre-fired so easily. After that, I went to edit courses and tried to complete that as well. I even got a lucky streak in one of the edit courses. Every single edit that I made, I wanted it to feel like there was actually something behind it. Like if there was some sort of reason that I edited it in the first place. Some sort of passion, if you will. I then went to the comp section, and I really had to pay attention in this category. And then I was done. It's day 7, and after all these days of back-to-back creative box fights and all this, I've come to a conclusion, and that is that 7 days is simply not enough. I need to put way much more time into the game to even reach a smithereen of what Koyota can do, which is why I'm thinking of making a part 2 to this how to become like Koyota, but only if this video gets at least over 50 likes. Can we do that? Hopefully we can. And with all that being said, ladies and gentlemen, this was a very fun and exciting video to make, and I hope you all enjoyed. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.